Here is something you can't understand. Yeah.
They was doing that. Old ass man. Hey, Lito.
Whoa.
Quick question.
Yep.
Is a healthy Trey Murphy in a class by himself?
Who the teacher?
You and me.
You must know that first. Can't nothing and nobody fade what we trying to do and what we about to do. Second thing is, we got this game on our level. You understand what I'm saying?
Welcome to another In Space, another episode, man. It's been a minute. Chris, Lito, we here, man. Listen, this our time. This our time. We've been talking. Season almost over. Like it's time to really put these shows together. You know what I'm saying? So as always, man, y'all like, comment, y'all subscribe, y'all tell us what y'all want to see next. Y'all know we about to break down a bunch of. That was crazy.
Nah.
All right. So y'all already know we about to break down a bunch of prospects, but we want to talk a little bit of.
You kind of ended it crazy.
Yeah. You know, it's all good, man. Shout out to Scott Vigner, man. Y'all see the number at the bottom, man. If you have been in an accident, man, look, 504-500-1111. Y'all be sure to give him a call, man. This is morning routine. This March Sadness. You know what I'm saying? Get you some bananas, specifically the banana peel, and go ahead and just, the antioxidants, like the big swole, man.
Yeah, you've been putting your face in the ice water. You've been doing the ice water.
Yeah. I thought about it. I thought about it. It's not really for me, but shout out to him, man. So while we here, Trey Murphy. I've been thinking about this for a while. I know he's hurt. I know the season's over. I know we're a long way away from watching Trey Murphy play basketball again. Like we talking months now between the season ending and his injury recovery. But he did end up finishing this season playing, I think, 53 games. Yep. He finished the year, what is his little averaging over 20 points a game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. I think took leaps in multiple areas. But Lito, what I want to ask you, our guy Brett, friend of the show, and I gotta find this here. Brett had an interesting question that I think you and I have talked about, and we talked about, all of us as a group, Boot Crew, have talked about on the Pro Bros Talk show. And here was his question: how many guys legit 6'8" ever have had this combination of shooting range and bounce? Not to mention the strikingly improved handle / creation. He's a pretty special player at only 24. Now, that's kind of like what we've been. Yep, go ahead.
Are we all right? Hold on. Is this an optimistic? Is it all right? Is this an optimistic episode where we allow the speed?
Yeah, we can speed. What else we here to do?
All right, bet. Like we could be a fan and stuff. Cause like we ain't dog. Like it's been really very depressing.
I was gonna tell you, load up the film because I got a few comparisons for you that was in these comments. Shout out to Brett, man. We're gonna get Brett on again during the off season. But yeah, I mean, load up the other, the other laptop, the other screen, and I got some players that I, some quick highlight mess ups that I want you to look through and tell me what you think. Before then, you can just off the top of your brain tell me what you think, right?
Yeah, I like this show.
Yeah. So it's funny with Trey because I've been thinking about this for a while. Like, he's the size, he's the height of a power forward. Most people want to be a power forward. Maybe he is a power forward, but he's finally tapped into some of the small forward elements from a creation standpoint. We already know what he can do as a shooter, but just simply dribbling the ball that. We were interested in watching him develop over time. Now, when he first got drafted, everybody said 3-and-D. That was the archetype that I think folks kind of thought he would tread towards, and we all did. Right. But then you throw in the athleticism, and then you throw in maybe some of the things that we didn't envision, like he didn't really become the rebounder, hasn't been a rebounder that we hoped that it would, he would grow into. He's had some defensive lapses, but offensively, he's broken the ceiling, I think, right? Like today, this early that I didn't know if he would be a guy that even in a broken season that averaged 20 points a game. But that's just me. But when you factor in how efficient he is, his ability to dribble, his ability to pass, his ability to shoot, and how athletic he is at 6'8", 6'9", we talked about this one show not too long ago, Lito. You ain't got many people that you can really compare him to over the history of the game.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, and some of these players, right, we're gonna get to is not quite like him, but it's fun to talk about. So we're gonna start here. First one here. Anybody over once you pass 6'8", you got any type of athleticism and you can shoot the ball and you can like dribble either with one hand, folks gotta call you Tmac. That's just that shows a kind of a special player he was. So this is like, you know.
Hey, just let hold on before you keep going. Hey, RXCH919, aka Justin, you're not slick. You're not slick, bro.
You gotta pull up some Tmac highlights, dog, so we can see how ridiculous this is.
Let's do it. All right.
I mean, I get it, dog, but I don't necessarily agree. We're gonna let some of the film, a couple minutes of Tmac highlights kind of tell a story. But believe it or not, Lito, I saw a lot of people say Tmac in the comments.
I think that's crazy, but hey, listen, I mean, crazy things have you know, crazy things have happened, I guess.
And, Tmac had a different level of like lateral movement.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like quick switch athleticism that Trey doesn't have off the bounce, off the dribble.
Ooh, why the NBA shit so grainy?
Man, this was your prime, dog.
Yeah. I mean, if we going off that,
yeah, that's okay.
Oh, all right, Mac. Passing that bit to Chuck Hayes.
That's something else about Tmac. He grew into someone who was comfortable, like facing up or back to the basket. Like that's just like God. I mean, come on, dog. Like we can like turn this off. Like I watched.
All right,
now Trey caught a oop that was crazy. But
hey, let me ask you a question. Let's be I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Who you think had more? Who you think had more bounce though?
Tmac or Trey?
Yeah,
Tmac.
Man, I'm looking at Mac. Mac ain't really getting off the ground like that. Not to say Mac can't jump, but I'm just saying, like, if you look at, I remember this.
I do too, actually. Yeah, but you know what? Though it's hard to gauge because a lot of the things we watching with Tmac has it with the ball. A lot of times we get a chance to watch Trey's athleticism show is either a closeout straight to the rim on an angle or him catching an oop.
Yeah.
But him getting downhill with the ball, this was really the first year that we've seen a mixture of that to be able to gauge. So I think Tmac just had a little bit more like control in the air and like just overall body control. And that's outside of him being a 3-level scorer. But who knows?
Hey man, they got a dude named David Garrison. Shout out to D Garrison, man. I swear to God, we was in 8th grade. David Garrison was like 6'5". I swear to God, this man was Tmac. I ain't seen you in a minute, D, bro, but you couldn't tell me David Garrison was about to be Tmac. But anyways.
Okay. A little crazy, don't worry about it. How about this one?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I know obviously we're only talking about the offensive side of the floor when we make that comparison, right? I ain't mad at it.
I like that one though.
And that would be my comparison.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it because Paul George was athletic, right? Yeah. But he still wasn't like I don't think even in his prime he had that quick twitch athleticism, like that freakish athleticism necessarily. Still super athletic, and still do a lot of different things on the floor, even when he transits. And you can look at it from this, like what Paul George was kind of penciled to be when he first got in the league.
Mm-hmm.
They both were similar to be similar, like I would say similar players in regards to being 3-and-D kind of guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then they transitioned as time went on to doing more things with the basketball. We'll see if Trey can become an all-star. But I ain't mad at that one. I kind of like that one.
Let's see.
Just the dribbling, dog. It just
PG way too smooth of an offensive player.
Exactly.
Like, but it's crazy because if you watch Paul at what Paul went to Santa Clara? Where did Paul go? Nah, he didn't go to Santa Clara. He went to Fresno State.
Oof.
If you watch Paul at Fresno State, like,
I say I like this, bro. Like he's not getting off the ground, but he's giving these violent finishes that you'll see from Trey, right?
Yeah.
I think Trey might have him a little bit on the vert, but you ain't gonna see him. You like. Oof.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we speeding with that count.
But I can see it though. Like I can see if Trey like maxes out as a player, I can see it because visually, when we're talking about just like the traits athletically, this makes more sense. There's just certain things on the floor that even at Trey's best, he maxes out. If Tmac do, that I don't think he could do.
Hey, this move right here, if he can incorporate this tween change of pace right here, he'll feed families. It's such a simple move.
And we saw a little bit of that this year.
Yep.
Well, a lot more than I think we've ever seen from him. See, that's something else that I don't see him doing a whole bunch of yet that he will have to, just maybe because of the way his shot is set up, just immediately coming off a screen and like lifting. Ooh. That was nasty. You didn't even see the ball go in.
Ooh, come here, Brian. Damn, it's 2 Brian dunks in this highlight. Man, Paul was filthy, man. I know what Paul at now, but boy, at one point. And to be honest, this might have been the best version of him.
Okay, see?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at this point he tapped into another level mentally too, bro. Playing with some of the best individual talent that he played with too.
Yep. And I'm telling you, dog, that tween crab dribble step through, keep the ball high, finish off the man.
Like the slowdown element of
it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like Paul got some. It's something about Paul. Paul Pierce had a lot of that, though. They get you in a window and everything looks so slow. But it's like there's an art to it.
Paul Pierce might be the worst built athlete of all time. I saw a tweet one day where somebody described Paul Pierce's physical build as frumpy, and I can't unsee it. But the thing is, it's like Paul Pierce could do whatever he wanted to on the floor, dog.
On the floor, yep. I'm not mad at this one. I just visually it makes a lot of sense to me. If Trey is able to continue to, you know what I mean?
I say this. He got more of a flair in his game, kind of like Paul does, versus what Mac did. I can't. Don't ask me to explain that.
What?
Don't ask me to explain it.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
Don't ask me to explain it. What I mean is, I don't know. Like Paul. I don't know. I'm watching Paul dunk, flex, do like little things, and you see Trey kind of nonchalantly do these things too. I think Tmac was a lot more demonstrative.
Yeah.
On the floor.
I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. let's move forward here. What else we got here? How about this one, bro? This your era.
Why you
Glen
keep
Rice?
why bro?
My bad. My bad.
Man was at Michigan in the 90s, so like
my bad.
What's up with you?
What you think though?
No, I think he better than Glen Rice. Hold on. I think he has the ability to be better than Glen Rice.
Well, let's see.
What version of Glen Rice do you want?
Probably need Charlotte Glen Rice. Or Miami Glen Rice.
I'm gonna say Charlotte because he was more
like that was his team. That was his team. Like when he got there and he started to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Let's see.
But that's an interesting one. You don't really we don't hear or see people be compared to Glen Rice. Like he's one of those dudes that gets forgotten about. But you know, if you look up, you'd be like, damn, like if Trey has a year as good as has a career as good as Glen Rice's, he won.
I mean, yeah.
But I just don't think as athletes it's necessarily comparable. I like the shooting element of it and some of the things Glen could do with the ball, but the athleticism, even when Glen was a little bit younger, I don't know if it's quite the same.
I'm thinking, hold on, let me see. I was trying to find a Glen Rice highlight reel. Let's see. Who the better shooter?
Oh God, Glen Rice. This young Glen Rice. Jeez. Okay. There we go. Yeah, David Wesley. All right. A lot of these guys that's on this team eventually made their way over to the New Orleans Hornets, dog. What a time.
You know how that go.
Yeah.
No, we do.
What'd you feel about that court, dog? Did you like that court?
I did. I did, to be honest. Ooh, I like the uniforms and everything.
Matt Geiger, what's up, bro?
The fly starter jacket. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Ooh. Okay, 41.
I don't like it.
I just don't think they're the same. They're the same athlete.
No. They're not.
Ew.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Let's stop.
That's a tough one. Let me pull that back up. Who this said? Bruce. Sorry, Bruce.
Nah.
Sorry, Bruce. That's not the one. One more here.
Glen Rice. Oh.
Terance Ross.
I see the prototype. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay.
I see the prototype. I see the archetype, I should say. Hey.
Terance Ross had bunnies.
Hey, what is that? Toronto Terance Ross?
Yeah. Toronto Terance Ross is
Toronto Terance, dog. You gotta.
I don't want to be disrespectful to Terance Ross, bro. That ain't fair for Terance Ross. He had a really solid NBA career, dog. So I'm not gonna do that to him.
No. That's not a diss at all. I'm not dissing. I'm just saying. I mean, he went on to have a great career in Orlando too. I'm just saying, Toronto Terance.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It really just sounds cool. Like, no.
All right. Let's see what's up with Terance, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. God damn.
Come on, man.
Let's see. That's just filthy, dog. Here we go. Toronto Terance.
Come on, man. TT.
Toronto Terance is insane, dog. Oh man, I'm not gonna be disrespectful to Toronto Terance though, bro. Orlando Terance. What are these names? That DJ Augustine? Jesus.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the God.
Marcus Saul, Pascal, Evan Fournier. Jesus. Obama was in office.
Ooh. That's the Toronto team won the chip, huh?
Nope. Oh, yeah, I think so. Get out the way.
Man, look Rashard Lewis, man.
Oh, dog. So Terance got flight, dog. That is just like it's different.
And the crazy thing is, Terance could shoot the ball too.
He could, but it was some of the other things that just didn't. You know, I mean, I don't think he was just in a spot to where if he was gonna grow as a creator, okay. If he was gonna grow as a creator, it had to happen with Toronto. To where he was gonna have to take hold of that team. And I would have to go look back at that roster, but it just didn't. That just wasn't gonna happen. Because he was playing with that Ibaka, that's DeRozan. Like, when was that gonna? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
how was it gonna manifest?
It was already too many people was wearing too many hats on that team. He just had to do this.
Okay. Toronto Ross, Toronto Terance.
I'm just saying.
That Norm Powell surely is.
I mean, where do I really even start?
That's unnecessary. That's unnecessary champagne, Lito. That Jonas Valanciunas, it surely is.
You see big Val?
I'll tell you what, that boy.
CJ, don't get dunked on. I mean, that's Evan Mobley. Don't get dunked on, Evan.
That's not Evan Mobley.
That is Evan Mobley. I mean,
Evan Mobley?
Evan
Turner.
Evan Turner, I'm sorry.
What the hell?
He played for the Knicks?
Bro, I wouldn't have even been able to tell you that happened.
Oh, no, that is not a Knicks.
Oh no, that is Orlando. Them kind of fire. They got to bring them back.
Ooh.
Okay. Orlando Terance.
Hey, that's OT right there. That's OT.
All right, man. I've seen enough. No.
I ain't mad at it, but no.
It's tough, bro, because like if you compare him to Paul George, you compare him to a multi-time All-Star, like we're talking about a dude that made multiple All-NBA teams, a dude that's advancing the playoffs, a dude that was the guy for his team, like a number one option at one point in his career. Like, I can't, but if we talking about a 6'8" dude that can score, that can dunk, that can shoot, that can dribble, or that's growing at the dribble, that can pass, that's what I've been trying to say. Even if the only guys you can compare Trey to with that skill set, they all superstars.
I don't think the comparison is Paul. I think.
Oh, the potential, maybe.
Yeah. The potential. Yeah. I think I'll tell you one thing. The Rashard Lewis comparison, he blew that shit out the water. That's
gone. The problem. Yep. That's the problem.
It's
gone. The problem. Once he advanced from somebody that was more than just and don't get me wrong, Rashard had a little bit of a face-up game, and he had a back-to-the-basket game in regards to turnaround fadeaways and stuff. But mainly, the allure with Rashard was his ability to shoot and his ability to attack closeouts. Once Trey figured out the shit in between attacking the closeout and shooting the three, it changes the entire game. But the issue that we haven't seen yet, which is why it's hard to compare him to Tmac or Paul George, is those dudes were 3-level scorers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does Trey have that next, leap to his game?
So we talking about the future now.
Yeah.
Man, I think so. Because I've seen the little floaters sprinkled in throughout the season. I've seen two foot jump stops and shooting fadeaways. I've seen him get to certain spots on the elbow and feel comfortable shooting it. And he got a set shot anyway. So once he dribbled and he picked the ball up, he already in. It's not like he not really getting he already in his shot pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like That was filthy.
Yeah. You know what, man? Like, I understand, like, we professional and everything, and that's cool, bro. But, we got to do a better job of holding each other accountable, bro, because that's just nasty.
That was filthy. That was filthy.
It really wasn't a way. For old time's sake, we're going to bring back wait, is it still here? Here, of course it is.
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? But yeah, dog, like, that's, those other guys had pull-ups too, right? Paul pulling up for 30. Tmac pulling up from 30. It's going to be interesting to see how he continues to develop. Is this his floor, or is this roughly at best what Trey's going to be? So, yo, man, as I said in the beginning of the show, this our time, man. And as a viewer, this y'all time. If y'all like what we doing, if y'all like, the shows that we put out as a group in total, like this, this the time to really tap in, man, because it's gonna be a lot of content, coming y'all way between breaking down prospects, talking about future things, talking about the offseason in total. I don't think anyone does it better like the group that we have. So, season been over for a little bit, but now it's officially almost over on the calendar. So y'all be sure to keep them alerts on. What would Justin say, Lito?
Like, subscribe, and comment, guys. It really helps the algorithm, and it gets us right into your viewing charts. You can see us, and that way, when we go live, just hit the bell notification.
Dang, I'll let y'all.